Don't deal with sorrow as your particular precious stuff. It is shared by all humanity. Deal with it not as your particular sorrow, your private quiet sorrow, but as the sorrow of all human beings, whether you are a man or a woman, rich or poor, sophisticated or at the height of your excellence. Please don't deal with all these factors like fear, pleasure, sorrow, love, and so on as something separate from each other. You must approach this whole thing wholly, not fragmentarily. If you approach it fragmentarily, you will never solve it. So, look at greed, pain, sorrow as a whole movement of life, not something different from life. This is our daily life. To find whether there is an end to all this, to misery, to conflict, pain, sorrow and fear, one must be able to perceive them, one must be able to be aware of them. We must understand what is perception, how to look. Is the observer who looks at all this, the poverty, the loneliness, the anxiety, the uncertainty, the suffering different from all that, or is the observer all that? I will explain this. We have separated the me, who is the observer, from that which he is observing. I say I am suffering, and I say to myself that suffering must end, and to end it, I must suppress it, I must escape from it, I must follow a certain system. So, I am different from fear, from pleasure, from pain, sorrow. Are you different from all that? Or you may think that there is something in you which is totally different from all that. If you think that, it is part of your thought, and therefore there is nothing sacred there. So, is the observer different from the observed? When you are angry, envious, brutal, violent, are you not all that? The meditator is the meditation. Please, sir, think about it. The observer is the observed. See the importance of this. Before, we have divided the observer from the observed. That means there is a division between that and the other. So, there was conflict. You could then control it, suppress it, fight it, but if you are that, if you are sorrow, if you are fear, if you are pleasure, you are the conglomeration of all this. To realize that fact is a tremendous reality, therefore, there is no division, and therefore there is no conflict, the observer is the observed. Then a totally different action takes place, a totally different chemical action takes place.